Good afternoon. Pork Chop Piper here. I want to send this out to my friends in the YTPC and wish you all a happy St. Patrick's Day. Now, there's nothing Irish about me, but I've got this really cool Irish pipe. It is a Peterson house pipe, I think. It might be a pub pipe, but either way, Dublin. And big. It fits my hand perfectly. So, happy St. Patrick's Day to you all. I'm coming to you today from Decovia East, overlooking Backyardistan. Yeah, we make those names up. I borrowed one of them from my friend Judith, but I don't think she'd mind so much. I just saw the results from the Paladin Piper, and I need to send him a thank you gift for letting me play along. So I'm going to use the PO box that you put up in your video, and I'll send you a little something, just because I appreciate you. So today, I'm smoking a little 965. And like I said before, one of my favorite pipes. It's just really big. It's an all-day sucker for me. There. I think that's got it going. Drinking a little tea. Berry Zinger. I mix it with a little lemonade, and it becomes my version of an Arnold Palmer. Really good. There. Come on, keep going. It's a gorgeous day here in Pacific Northwest. 71 degrees. We took a hike out to, well, it's Fort Worden, and you probably don't know where that is, but you may have seen it if you've ever seen An Officer and a Gentleman, because that's the location that they shot that movie at. It's one of my favorite places. It's gorgeous. Got great views of Mount Baker and the Cascades, and you get to see some marine traffic, which is always a lot of fun. I think that my next video, or maybe my video after this, I don't know, I'm going to shoot from the Kitsap Pipe Club. We meet the last Saturday of the month, and they were really excited when I told them I was going to do that slow smoke for YTPC, and they said that I should do it there, but unfortunately the timing wasn't right, so we weren't able to pull it off. But that being said, they would like to say hi to y'all, and so we'll include that in maybe the next video. There's an interesting question that Ed posted about how I picked my pipe for the day. And it's funny because I think I've actually got favorite pipes, but I've got a collection of about 40 of them. And there's a few of them that I smoke constantly. I usually smoke a corncob when I'm down in my shop, because if it falls on the floor and breaks, I don't shed a tear. I'll just get another one. But I like corncob pipes. I have a fair mix of Savinellis, Petersons, Nordigs, as well as I actually own two Dunhills. I have a birthday pipe, which my friend Doug helped me get, and let's see, and then a good mixture of just oddball pipes, GBDs, a couple of Grabos. I've even got a Falcon. So I think that's what they call Falcons. That's the one where you screw the bowl on. I'm still trying to figure out how to smoke that. I haven't quite sorted that out yet. The idea of using a pipe cleaner as some form of filter, I don't know. I just can't wrap my head around that. So I want to thank um, Pat, the Paladin Piper, for including me with his slow smoke competition. It was an honor to play along with you guys, and I enjoyed every minute of it. So how I pick my pipes: the pipe for Decovia, or the hot tub, which I spend a lot of time in, usually an hour or so a day, keeps my joints moving, is usually a rotation of about 5 or 6 pipes. And as I said before, it's a fair mix of Savinellis. I always have the Savinelli on Friday in honor of matches. But it's a fair mix of Savinellis, Nordics, things like that. And I usually pick one from there, whichever one strikes my fancy. I usually smoke aromatics down in the shop, codger blends mostly, but upstairs on the deck, it's definitely English blends, and 965 is my tobacco for today. I'm talking so much my pipe went out. I know that Pat had asked that I tell some sea stories, and I have no shortage of sea stories. And you can always tell when I'm going to tell a sea story because I usually start it out with, "This is a no shitter." And so if I start a conversation that way, you know what's coming up next. But I don't have much time for a sea story today, but I will tell you that there are some in the future. I've got 25 years in the submarine force, total of 42 years working with the submarine force. And I will tell you that there is nothing that can compare with working in an environment where you're not the smartest guy in the room. So my job while I was there was to contribute what I could and then get the hell out of their way, because these folks, men and women, are just as sharp as they come. And one of which that always comes to mind, okay, this is a no-shitter. One of our sailors, actually she was an officer, Navy captain, when she was just a lieutenant, she worked in Scotland on the staff of the squadron, submarine squadron there as a medical officer. And she was working to get her qualifications done as a submarine diving officer, doc, or submarine doc. And when she came aboard, it became my job as the ship's diving officer to train her to be a diving officer of the watch. She was a little standoffish, and rightfully so, because I'm sure that in an environment where you're surrounded by 130 guys, being the only female there can be a little intimidating, but there was no reason for her to be intimidated. A, because I would give my life for any one of those guys, and B, she belonged there. We all knew she belonged there. I had the privilege of training her to be a submarine diving officer. And she got underway with us to do this particular training and this qualification. During her off time, she saw to it that all of our crew's medical records were up to date. Anybody who needed physicals were taken care of, and timing those kind of things when you're in port is always a challenge because the crew has tons of things to do when the ship's in port and they're not on it. So she volunteered to take care of that, and our independent duty corpsman was most thankful. He rode shotgun with her for all those, and she also reviewed all of our radio. What's the term? I'm trying to think of it. Oh, shame on me for forgetting these things. Um, our badges, our film badges that we wore. She reviewed those records, made sure that they were perfect. And then when she was on watch, she was very attentive. Turns out that we were both from the same hometown, Racine, Wisconsin. Went to school across town from the high school that I went to. And she did a great job. We lost her with the space shuttle explosion. Her name was Captain Dr. Laurel Clark. And she will live with me the rest of my life, right here. Because she became a member of our crew. And I treated her just the way I treated everybody else. So, next time you're looking up in the sky, think of my friend Laurel and send her good wishes. So I think that's all I'm going to say today. This is the Pork Chop Piper coming to you from a gorgeous day in the Pacific Northwest, and wishing you all happy St.